You've spent decades wondering why you see the world differently than most people around you, why you feel things more deeply, why you need more time alone, why small talk exhausts you while meaningful conversations light you up from the inside. You've probably been told at some point that you're too sensitive, too quiet, or too much. And for years, maybe you believed it. But what if I told you that everything you were taught to see as a flaw was actually a gift you never learned to unwrap? It took me more than 50 years to understand this. And in the next few minutes, I want to save you decades of unnecessary self-doubt. Let's start with something simple. Psychology shows that people who tend to overthink aren't weak or broken. They're often the most creative, empathetic, and deeply self-aware individuals in any room. Research in cognitive psychology suggests that the same mental wiring that causes you to replay conversations or lose sleep over decisions is the very same wiring responsible for deep problem-solving, emotional intelligence, and artistic thinking. You weren't given a burden. You were given a powerful mind that nobody taught you how to use. Think about it this way. Have you ever met someone who never second-guesses themselves? Who makes every decision with complete confidence, never wondering how their words landed or whether they could have done something better? We often envy those people. But research consistently shows that moderate self-reflection is one of the strongest predictors of personal growth and healthy relationships. The problem was never that you thought too much. The problem was that nobody told you thinking deeply was something to be proud of. Now let's talk about sensitivity. If you've ever cried at a movie, felt overwhelmed in crowded places, or picked up on the energy in a room the moment you walked in, you might have been labeled emotional, dramatic, maybe even difficult. But psychology tells a completely different story. Studies on what researchers call sensory processing sensitivity show that roughly 20% of the human population is born with a nervous system that processes the world more deeply. These individuals notice subtleties others miss. They feel compassion more readily. They think before they act. And they often form the most profound and loyal connections of anyone in their social circle. Being sensitive doesn't mean you're falling apart. It means you're fully alive in a world that taught most people to numb themselves just to get through the day. Here's something else that took me far too long to understand. Needing solitude is not the same as being antisocial. If you recharge by being alone, if parties drain you while a quiet evening at home restores you, you've probably spent years apologizing for that, canceling plans and feeling guilty, showing up when you didn't want to, and leaving feeling emptier than when you arrived. But research in personality psychology tells us that introverted tendencies are not a social disorder. They are a biological preference for depth over breadth. Introverts tend to listen more carefully, think before speaking, and build fewer but far stronger relationships. In a world that rewards the loudest voice in the room, it can feel like your quiet strength doesn't count. It counts more than you know. And what about the person who has always cared more than everyone else? Who stayed up worrying about a friend? Who felt guilty for saying no? Who would do anything to avoid conflict, even at the cost of their own peace? Psychology calls this a high capacity for empathy, and while it can absolutely be painful, it is also one of the rarest and most powerful human qualities. The research is clear. Empathetic people make better leaders, better parents, better friends. The world doesn't have too many people like you. It has too few. Now here is what I wish someone had told me at 20, or 30, or even 40. Every trait you were ashamed of has a shadow side and a strength side. Overthinking becomes wisdom when it's guided with self-compassion. Sensitivity becomes intuition when it's no longer treated as weakness. Solitude becomes clarity when you stop apologizing for needing it. And deep empathy becomes genuine leadership when you finally learn to include yourself in the circle of people you care for. The journey isn't about changing who you are. It's about finally understanding who you've always been. So here's what I want you to take away from this today. You are not too much. You are not broken. You were simply built for depth in a world addicted to surface. And the traits that have made your life feel harder, more complicated, more isolating at times, are the same traits that make you irreplaceable to the people lucky enough to truly know you. It took me over 50 years to stop fighting myself and start understanding myself. I don't want that for you. If this resonated with something deep inside you, subscribe to this channel. Because every week we go deeper into the psychology of who you really are. Not to diagnose you, but to help you finally see yourself clearly, perhaps for the very first time. You deserve that kind of understanding. And it starts right here.